Welcome, I'm TW. Becoming Jesus. To become like Jesus or like anyone of the spiritual teachers that has come to us. The gateway to this place is through yourself. You gotta go through yourself. You gotta know yourself. And in that process of knowing yourself, that is the gateway to becoming one with the most powerful force in the universe, the only force in the universe that's responsible for all that is the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. But to get to this place, you must move beyond belief. Belief will not get you to this place. Knowing will get you here. You gotta start. You start with belief, but you gotta move from belief to knowing. Belief is just the steps that you gotta climb, and that belief should lead you to knowing exactly who you are. Once you know who you are, then that's the gate to knowing who Jesus is. And remember, you cannot become anything that you do not know. And once you know yourself, then you can know exactly who JC, when I say JC, Jesus Christ, who he was while he was in the flesh. And that route you can take to becoming like him and becoming him. This is not an impossible task. In the spiritual plane, nothing is impossible. Because remember, JC himself said, God is spirit, and those who worship God must worship in spirit and in truth. And there's other places where he's referring to God as spirit. So you got to become that spirit. Once you become that spirit, once you know exactly who you are and you become that spirit, then that is the gateway. Because once you become that spirit, that means you know exactly who you are. And in knowing who you are, then you will see the other powers at play. You will see the power that's flowing through you, that's flowing through the universe, that's flowing in the earth itself, that's flowing right around you. And you will realize that that power is no different from the power that's within you. Once you can see where all is arriving from, then you have entered the place where JC was standing and where he was looking at all these things coming in, the ins and out, the flow that going right through the universe. Then you can have that insight that he have and see the things that he see. And then you will understand the words that he was speaking when he was speaking from this place. He wasn't speaking from a physical place when he was saying some of the things he was saying. He was speaking from this place, deep down within him, where the flesh have no place, where the flesh cannot enter. It's a spiritual place. And once you get to this place, as I say, you can see very clearly. There's no confusion here. You know what is what. You can see everything. You can see a thought as it rises up and making contact with you as an individual. And you are the one who's going to be deciding whether to open the gate to let this thought comes in, to let this thought come in, and you can get that information that that thought is providing. In the physical realm, it's difficult to do this. If you're living just on the physical level, you probably have no idea what I'm speaking of. But if you enter on a spiritual level, then you will see clearly where the beginning is and where the end is, because they are at the same place within you. Going through this gate to become like JC, to become Jesus Christ. As I said, this door is going through yourself, to knowing yourself, to get into the heart of who you are, the center of who you are. I'm not talking about the physical heart. I'm talking about the mental and spiritual heart of your system, the core, the center of your being, where you are the director of everything, where you are the overseer. You are the one who is seeing every single move that's been made on the interior. This is the gateway to becoming Jesus, to becoming God, just like Jesus is knowing yourself first. You cannot, let me say this, you cannot enter this place with the physical form. This is a mental and spiritual road you gotta take. You gotta go deep within yourself. And if you don't get deep within yourself and look around and spend some time within yourself and know that environment within yourself, then you will never see and know who the most powerful force in the universe is. You will never understand JC. You will never understand God. You got to get deep within yourself, know yourself. That is the gateway. Once you know yourself, then everything else open up, because knowing yourself is giving you the information, the knowledge, the wisdom to see exactly what is the same as you. What is moving through you is the same thing that's moving through everything else in the universe. So getting through yourself and knowing yourself, then you will see and know who God is, who Jesus was, who the Buddha was, who Lhasa was, who Thoth was. You will see who Moses was, who Abraham was. You will see all these spiritual teachers. You will see the place that they were living in and they were speaking from when they were speaking to the mass, you will understand and realize that you are standing in the same place. You are seeing the same things that they were seeing, and that's why we still talk about them today, because they were speaking from a place deep down within them. They were speaking from their natural place, their natural source. They're speaking from the real source of what's real, the universe. The only way you can get here and get to this place is knowing yourself. Once you know yourself, then that's the gateway to knowing who God is and becoming God, and knowing who Jesus was and becoming Jesus, and knowing who Latsu was and becoming Latsu, and knowing who the Buddha was and becoming the Buddha, and knowing who thought was and becoming thought. And even Socrates, you can see the place where Socrates was arguing from, where he was standing within himself and looking at what's good, looking at the light, looking at what's real. And you will understand the arguments, you will understand the statements that these people were making. When you come and you stand within yourself and know yourself, and knowing yourself give you access to knowing everyone else, because you will see the same things playing out in you that's moving from the beginning to the end, and the things that are moving you, and you will realize that is the same thing moving every single person on the globe. You will understand that. And once you understand yourself, then you can see this playing out right around you, right across the world, right across the universe. The gateway to knowing who JC was and becoming JC, or becoming like JC, or knowing who God is knowing yourself first. And once you know yourself, then the rest will be history. Blessing be with you always. Remember to bring some clarity and some awareness into your creative space. 10 to 12 deep breath can get you started. Blessing be with you always. Peace. See you on the other side.